Hey there, everybody. This is Caleb S3D1, and today I have a very special video. Something that I have not done since a few years ago. I want to say like half a decade ago. Like, I haven't done something like this in a really long time. So let's get started. So this is my opinion or my view of what would happen if hostile aliens came to our planet to raid us and steal our resources. So let's just kind of like make some like rules. So the aliens are here for our food, our water, our precious metals, our minerals, and like fuel. So like coal. And they're not here to necessarily kill us all, but if we get in their way, they basically will use deadly force. So let's just say it's like year 2075 or 2175, something like that. And NASA tells everybody that there is a ship that is not of Earth, and there's a ship that is not of Earth kind. So there's the ship that is basically the size of a moon, and it orbits Earth for like 2.5 days, and then it lands in a desert in Africa. So this is my opinion of what the events would transpire if aliens, hostile aliens, ever visited Earth to steal resources. So, first things first, if they're smart, they would use EMPs to wipe out all electronic signals, like telephones, the internet, fucking like whatever those radios are called, ham radio, emergency radio signals, like everything you can think of. And then the next thing that they would wipe out is the power. Everything that you can think of, like cell phones would just shut down and be like fried. Computers would be fried. All your electronics would not turn on. They'd be fried. Even like your electric watches, like watches that use batteries instead of the ones that are like mechanical that work by themselves, like the ones that were used a long time ago. Like those will work, and you'll still be able to use like survival things like compasses and things that use batteries, like flashlights and basic things, but for the most part, everything that you can think of that uses power that isn't readily able to charge or use batteries will be fried. So the next thing that the aliens would do is they would most likely start off by, like, I don't know, like, rounding up people that are ill, like people in hospitals and people that can't fight for themselves, because, like, I believe that if there's a hostile alien fight, they're not gonna fight people that can't fight back. Like, that would be totally fucked up. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do when, you know, you're fighting an old person that can't even stand upright? You know, like, I believe that they would save their energy for more challenging foes like the Army or the Marines or the Navy or, you know, like, armed forces that are actively out to kill them. So they would round up all of the people that don't have that are weak, basically. And then they would put them into, like, a separately constructed, like, safe room that has, like, millions of people in it. Like, hundreds of millions of people in it. And then they would separate the people who they believe can, that have the ability to fight back, but aren't armed. So they would have, like, these, like, ways to scan houses to see if the people that are able-bodied Americans or able-bodied people in other countries, they would have scanners to check if they have any weapons of some sort. And they would take the people that don't have weapons and the ones that don't have weapons and that can fight back and put them into a separate, like, cell. The next thing that would happen is the Army, the armed forces, like the Marines, the Navy, the Army, the police, the SWAT, the FBI, they all would be called to negotiate whether they can talk to a type of being that probably doesn't even understand English or can't communicate unless they have, like, some weird, like, ability, like telepathy, you know, like, anyways. So the armed forces would have a standoff with the aliens. And let's just say that one guy discharges a gun and it hits an alien in its armor, and then they immediately just start fucking hailing fire on all of the troops that are on the other side of the front line. And I believe, honestly, that if there was an alien population, they would be a lot more advanced in combat than a planet population that hasn't even left their planet for whatever reason it is, because they would probably be a lot better armed than even America. So let's just say they have a huge firefight, they wipe out all of the armed forces, and then they move in and they take all of the resources that they can fit into their ship, and then they keep going away from Earth. That's what I believe would happen if hostile aliens ever visited planet Earth. If you guys enjoyed what you heard, please give it a like. If you are not subscribed already, go ahead and give this video or this channel a subscribe. I usually make these videos on Mondays and Fridays, so this is probably gonna be uploaded tomorrow because today's Sunday. Anyways, thank you all for listening, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.